Can you mute your microphones if you haven't already? So find a good posture. In one of the classical texts regarding yogic postures, it is said Sthiram Sukham Asanam, which means that the posture should be comfortable and pleasant. Comfortable and pleasant. So from the beginning, we are all sharing the same space. We are connected. And all life is connected. All life. All life is connected. Just like our limbs are connected to our trunk and head connected to our trunk, same way all life is connected as one. Recognize that knowledge. Recognize the experience that I'm pointing to. This interconnectedness of all life. So through this, with the help of this simple pointer and this simple transmission that is taking place, we can recognize true being common to all life. This basic nature common to all life, common to all living things. When we speak of having a recognition, it means that we feel with our bodies. We feel it. We feel this experience. We recognize this experience with our bodies, in our bodies, in our hearts, with our hearts. in with our heads. And we simply remain in that recognition. And as you can feel, when we have this recognition, it starts to heal, it starts to relax our body. It starts putting things into perspective. Our mind becomes clear, just like the mind of wakefulness. This wakefulness is the Buddha within. The Buddha within begins to show up through our recognition, through our practice. So probably our minds become clear, thoughts disappear, but also a bed of mud disappears. Substrate consciousness disappears. Alaya Vijnana disappears. And this immense clarity and freshness shows up. We are not talking about heavenly meditative state. We are not talking about an exalted state. We are talking about clarity and wonderful freshness right here, right now. We haven't left this body, we haven't left this room, we haven't lost connection with all life. If we went to a meditative absorption or a trance, then we would lose that connection. But here we remain in connection with all living things, all life. Allow this recognition to come into your body. Allow it to arrive to you. Welcome it into all cells of the body, all thousands and thousands of muscles, hundreds of bones, organs, heart. It is excellent if we can if we can become receptive, if we can surrender, relax in that way. So here we are practicing so-called Ati Yoga, Dzogchen, with some little Bodhicitta pointers, arriving to this meaning, arriving to this recognition of the Buddha within, of Buddha nature, nature of mind, through a Bodhicitta pointer. Here we are practicing the highest teachings, or the highest vehicle of all Buddhism, and actually of all Dharma. But if you really, if we look at our experience, well, personally at least, I don't feel like this is some kind of a, high or royal experience, majestic experience. Rather, it feels like, oh yes, this is me, this is life, this is something crucial, this is what I want, this is what I've been looking for. You can probably relate to this. Even if it's the highest vehicle of Buddhism, it is really deeply about being a human and not being fooled by appearances, which means being clear-headed, alive in a sober and sane and grounded manner. So this is the simplest and most direct way to know ourselves. Because of this transmission effect between myself as a teacher or as a guide and you, practitioners, students, seekers. This is the simplest way. This is what is emphasized in Dzogchen, this direct introduction or transmission. Nothing special. I think all human beings, well, that's not very realistic to say, but all beings should have the opportunity to have this transmission, to have the nature of mind, Buddha nature, pointed out to them. But we start with ourselves. Take few deep breaths to relax a bit more. Inhale deeply. Fill the lungs and exhale. 5 to 10 times, deep breaths. The transmission seeps in better when we help it a little bit with the breath. If you feel sleepy, please stand up for a while. This is not the time to sleep. And stay with the experience. All life interconnected. Ourselves in the middle of it all. In Buddhist terminology, we would say that we are the Buddhas at the center of our own mandala. Each one of us is the center of the universe. That's another way of saying it. Because of our three-dimensional body, physical body, that puts us in the center. It doesn't make us gods or a creator God. It doesn't make us. Even though we are also the source of blessings. So I am saying all these things about ourselves as Buddhas and the Buddha within. I am not telling you a fairy tale. I am not fooling you. I'm giving pointers. It is each of our job to gain certainty whether what these pointers, whether they are correct or not. We have to validate ourselves. Stay with me. Let's stay together. If you get sleepy, you can physically shake your body, shake off the sleepiness. You can rub your face. Do something so that that sleepiness falls off. You can slap your body, wake yourself up. Or you can do a few Vajra bodies, tensing muscles, holding the breath. If you feel sleepy. If you don't feel sleepy, just continue as you are. As we sit together, meaning you and me together, feel into the fine details of this recognition. Feel in a finer way than you are now. Yes. Very, very fine. And this helps you in whatever boomy terrain you're working at the moment. When we push it, so to speak, when we feel finer way, this pushes the recognition into the energy body, into the mind, to the terrain where it isn't yet. Pushes the recognition into the karmic body, into those first 10 bhumis. You might feel, spontaneously you might feel that the tantric deities, masculine and feminine deities that are practiced in Pemako Tantra, you might feel spontaneously the presence of some of those deities. It is an interesting thing that happens, even though we haven't practiced any deity mantras yet. But this should happen when tantrics practice Ati Yoga, Dzogchen. This should also happen, because deities are the same as the natural state, as the Buddha within. So, in other words, our recognition of compassion, because we recognize the natural state just like we do now, you might notice that, oh, this actually feels literally the same as Avalokiteshvara meditation, Bodhisattva of compassion meditation. Or you might feel grounded and firm, which is the third basic characteristic of the natural state, just like you do with wrathful deities. So this proves the point that tantric deities are our own Buddha within. They are not external gods or beings external to us. Some of you start to feel more sleepy, so let's do 10 Vajra bodies all together. So we are breathing bright light from the mother light from above the head, bringing it down with inhalation to the heart, and then we hold the breath and squeeze all the muscles of the body, and imagine that rainbow lights are emanating from the heart into the aura and beyond the aura. So let's do this 10 times. Please begin. Inhale. In your own pace. Good, strong flexes. Few more. Okay, then sit down again and completely relax. With a thorough relaxation, make sure that the dynamic tensing of the muscles doesn't make the fineness of the experience go away. Still stay fine-tuned. Sitting connected with all life. Make sure you also relax the belly so that the breathing can flow in on its own unarrested. You all are familiar with the so-called two-part formula. And I use those two modes, two parts, selfless mode or empty mode and self-based mode, I-based mode, in a lot of our teachings. So you all know that this self-based mode, it refers to the contracted type of feeling and thinking, contracted way. You all know what it means because it happens in our daily lives. We all know how this me, self, I-ness, how that thought, how that emotion feels like. Is that feeling there now? Can you find this I or me that is sticky and contracted in your experience at the moment? Just check if it's there or if it's absent. How many of you can confirm that it is absent? Show me thumbs up or down. Okay, thank you. So some of you were showing me thumbs up to confirm the absence of the self-based thing, and some of you were showing thumbs down. You felt that this I-based contracted feeling is still there. So we will, in a moment, we will do some exercise to help those who showed thumbs down. But before that, another pointer that is really important to understand, this basic knowingness, knowing quality of Buddha nature of ours. So when that self-based me, I thinking, when it's gone, what is in the place of it? Find out in your own body-mind what is in the place of that thinking and feeling based on me, I. then there is this basic and effortless knowing or cognizance in the place of that sticky, contracted I or me. So recognizing this basic knowingness is really important in Ati Yoga, in our style of practice. So if you take a look around in the room at different objects, you look at one thing and then another thing. What is characteristic to this when we apply our attention to different external objects from this basic knowing quality, from the so-called Rigpa, is that our perception of things is very raw and naked in a sense. Also very, what is the word? It feels like there is no distance. So it feels very intimate also. Very plain and clear. Not dull, not boring, but just very clear and close in the sense that as if there's no distance at all. Are you still with me? Thumbs up or thumbs down? So this is a really important point. Learning how to recognize this selfless basic awareness that knows itself without effort. And this becomes very easy when 11th Bhumi is opened. When the Mahasiddha Bhumis are opened, because in our energy body, this relates to Mahasiddha Bhumis relate to this Buddha within. So until that point, we are kind of closed inside of a cocoon, closed inside of a shell. So we do all these dynamic practices to break those samsaric self-based shells so that this basic nature can be recognized. So let's do another set of 10 Vajra bodies. I will give you some instructions for it, so you can feel your body sitting from head to toe. Then you can feel the so-called mother light, Mahasiddha Bhumis, the centers above your head, high above. Simply feel as if you were sitting your back against a flagpole, and then the top of the flagpole is some distance above your head. In the same way, feel into that space right above your head. So there's the mother light. This is the easiest way to connect with the Buddha within. Mahasiddha Bhumis. So with inhalation, you simply feel, you can visualize it in the form of bright light, like we do in Vajrabadi, but you can also simply just feel how it showers, how it descends into the body space and aura and into the heart. So when we inhale, we can simply feel that, and then we hold the breath and squeeze the muscles firmly in the whole body, not forgetting the head and throat and jaws and all other muscles. And then we feel how this light expands into the aura and beyond the aura in rainbow colors. So you can visualize big colored light beams that fill the aura, like wide beams, or very small, thin rainbows, however it comes to you. Okay, let's do 10. Please begin. Firm squeeze. Wrathful. Stomach, back, buttocks, genital muscles, legs, arms, fists, feet, toes, head. Squeezing the whole body like bodybuilders. Few more. And then you can let go of the exercise and sit again. And again, completely relax. All muscles completely limp. And see how the Buddha within shows up. Clear, pure, fresh. Connected to all life. And now you can again check, if it was unclear before, whether you feel that small self, small I, small me, or if it's absent. it's a good analogy that if we have a field, like a field of grass, open field, but then if there is a big wooden beam or flagpole in the center of it, that's a good analogy of having that I thought or me thought. But if we take that wooden beam, that flagpole away, then it's just empty field without a reference point. Open field. Our style of practice is to get into this recognition, because it is really the foundation, the heart and soul of Hatha Yoga Dzogchen path, to have the Dzogchen experience, where there is no meditative state, no meditator, no object of meditation. And when we talk about, as a pointer, when we talk about connectedness, being connected with all life, this feeling of being connected is there, but without the thought of it. Although we can use the thought, think in our mind, okay, I'm feeling, how does it feel to be connected with all living things? We can say this in our mind if the recognition is lost or becomes unclear. But really, in this so-called Dzogchen, great perfection, yoga, all these concepts of myself, me and you and other, or sentient beings, or meditative states, or attainments, or awakening experiences are gone. They are not there. Simply because they aren't. Awakening experiences, attainments happen in the, are partly conceptual. But in this great perfection experience, there is no conceptualizing anymore. There is no making sense of it. So I was saying that in our style of practice we always seek to get to this recognition. We use these different dynamic practices and tantric tools, guru mantras, deity mantras, to get to this experience and to establish this experience in the midst of our self-based samsaric mind. So in this way we transform, while cutting through all the layers of the samsaric mind. This is something that we really emphasize in the Pemako practice. We have to, if we can't, if we are entangled in self-based thought and emotion, dreams, fantasies, memories, very difficult to have recognition. Very difficult to recognize the Buddha within when being entangled. And we don't practice shamatha meditation, we don't practice concentration or calming down like it is practiced in almost all forms of Buddhism. We do dynamic concentration instead because it's quicker, gets the job done faster. And with Vajra body, we did physical dynamic concentration. So it takes a moment, half a minute, 1 minute, couple of minutes to cut through, to establish this Buddha within in our body-mind. And then when it is recognized, then we don't need to do anything. That's why it said that it's effortless. There is no need to sustain anything. Like there is with concentration practices, mindfulness practices, always something is sustained. There is effort, because there is applied focus. But we do the opposite. We punch through, cut through the samsaric mind, so that this effortless Buddha nature reveals itself, can be felt and recognized. One of the ways how we cut through on our retreats is that we shout mantras, hung pets, every 7 minutes, about 20 reps every 7 minutes. So, as you know, those of you who have done retreats, this is something that we practice. We might sit for an hour or more, and then every 7 minutes shouting hung pets loudly, about 20 times. Maybe 16 is the number usually. So let's do this now. Shout hung pets loudly, so that we really not with tension, not with anger, nothing like that. It's kind of a relaxed punch. Those of you who have some, well, everybody has some familiarity with boxing, but In boxing there are, you can say, two kinds of punches. There is a light punch called jab, where you kind of do this. This is jabbing. So it's a light punch. And then there is the strong punch, like this. So it should be something like jabbing, like a hard jab. But jabs are always relaxed. So it's not like, not angry like this, not rigid, not hard. But it should have focus while being relaxed. So let's do this. 16 hung pets. So hung pet, hung pet, hung pet with a rhythm. Okay, inhale. Hung pet, 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 hung pet. After the last shout, relax completely. Mouth and jaws relaxed. Diaphragm relaxed. Head relaxed. Both eyes open or eyes closed are fine. Just in your practice, whether daily home practice or this retreat, remember to use both. Let's do another set of hung pets. And this time let's do half a mala, so about 50 times. Here in Finland it's 10 past 9 in the evening, so nicely add some punch to my neighbor's evening tea. So about 50 times. Let's begin. Hung pet, 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 hung pet. And relax. Completely relax. I've reminded you of this being connected to all beings. See if you're already connected without reminding. all beings included. Big heart. Boundless heart. To shake off even the rest of the dust. Let's do one more. 50 reps. And inhale. Hung pet, 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 hung pet. Completely letting go of all doing. Really properly recognizing who we really are. Boundless, full of love, full of compassion, completely sober and clear, grounded and sane, makes our Guru Rinpoche and Yeshama very proud, and also masters before them in our lineage, Karab Dorje, Vimala Mitra, makes our ancestors very, very proud and happy. Recognition is the best gift we can give to them. And to all beings. So when we have recognition, that moment, those moments, we are Buddhas within those 6 realms, but not caught up by them, not caught up by samsara, confusion. How beautiful, striking the essence of all Dharma by recognizing reality like it is, reality of our own being. Pure light, bright light, transparent like a diamond, as if our own body, minds and surroundings was made of diamond. Pure, clear, transparent. But also shining light, pure light. Pure light, like rainbows. And this is who we are. Not small entities, not contracted entities. Relax your body, completely relax, as if waves of relaxation sweep through your whole body. When we practice in the way how we practice, it pushes our limits. It pushes the limits of our samsaric mind, samsaric body all the time. So we need to be sure that we are relaxed and relax as we keep practicing. Relax your head. Muscles are in and around your head. Relax your neck. Relax jaws, nose, tongue and gums. As if the muscles in the area of the head become completely limp. Like a dead man's head. And let that limpness descend down into the whole body. As if you couldn't even tense your muscles. Like a dead man can't. Alright, let's chant some basic prayers. Absolute refuge, absolute bodhicitta, and then dedication of merit. So we will skip the relative ones. Sometimes we can do this, as long as we are not fooling ourselves, because relative we can't skip the relative world and relative things. So absolute refuge. I am the Guru. I'm in the Pure Land. I am the Buddha. I am the Dharma. I am the Sangha. I am the Guru. I'm in the Pure Land. I am the Buddha. I am the Dharma. I am the Sangha. I am the Guru. I'm in the Pure Land. I am the Buddha. I am the Dharma. I am the Sangha. Sit with it for a moment. Feeling the meaning of the prayer with the body. All beings are free 3 times. All beings are free. All beings are free. All beings are free. Absolute bodhicitta, verbally expressed. From the point of view of Dzogchen, no sentient beings, no Buddhas, and all beings are already free. And dedication of merit. May all beings receive my accumulated merit. I dedicate the merit to the refuge and to all sentient beings. Join your hands, expressing sincerity, honesty, and humility by bowing our heads. So when we bow at the end, it's sort of like showing that we have some manners, rather than going with a chest pushed out, going out like arrogant uh, fellas, beings. All right. Thank you very much for this evening. This was a good start for the retreat. Tomorrow we will continue at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Oh yes, so we'll have to test it tomorrow, but there is one preliminary in the preliminary practices booklet related to music and dancing. And we have to test it tomorrow if the microphone from my web camera, if I could use music through my laptop so that we can dance a little bit. That's something I would like to try and test. So anyway, I was saying that we have one of our preliminaries is dancing to music freely, and so if not tomorrow, I think we will try it on this retreat. Rushen would also be lovely to practice, but I think there are some people who haven't practiced Rushen before, so it would be best to start Rushen on retreat, because usually people require some instructions from a teacher to understand Rushen, to get it going. And even if somebody has done it on retreats before, sometimes it's not real Rushen. So maybe dancing is a bit safer bet in that sense. So for dancing and also some simple yoga practice, have your yoga mat and some space in the room where you are, so that you have space for exercise and also for lying down. And remember to ventilate the room before sessions, have fresh air, have drinks that you can sip throughout the sessions. Yeah, and if you have, and you really should have, as a practitioner, you should have a statue or a picture of Guru Rinpoche and or Yeshe Tsogyal, like have a home altar, but have them with you. And if you can put flowers, fresh flowers for the retreat next to the statue or images, that would be lovely. Maybe even burning candles and incense, if you like. Okay, I think that's it for this evening. So see you tomorrow. So thank you for this evening. And thank you also for your fees. If you haven't yet sent your retreat fees, please take care of it as soon as possible. So have a good day and have a good evening, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Kim.
My pleasure. See you.